Hello, my name is Euro and welcome to another Baldur's Gate 3 video. In today's video I'll be showing you my favorite money making method in the game, which I like to call the stockpiling method. This method will involve us stockpiling a lot of items from merchants that we'll be later on taking from them by knocking them out or killing them. Now this method itself I wouldn't call really an exploit, more like a cheese, as it is very different from the most updated version of the money making exploit I saw, which was the selling a warlock bound weapon that actually doesn't end up getting sold, but you still get the money, or trying to sell the rune powder, which also does the same thing where you actually don't sell the item but you still get the gold anyway. So to do this, you can basically start it as soon as you reach the Emerald Grove and you level up to level 3. So here's how I like to do it. You want to go to Arron here, preferably with your wizard or spellcaster who can cast Hold Person at level 3. We'll get that into that, why that is important in a bit. But anyway, talk to Arron, ask him what is he selling, and then you want to sell him two bags. The first bag is usually what I like to call the junk bag. Into this bag we'll be selling all of the items that we collected before we reached Emerald Grove, and we're going to use it as a sort of a cleanup bag so that all of these items don't clutter up his actual inventory. To do this simply is when you sell him an item, like for example it is water, you want to open the trash bag and open up the buyback menu, and then you can highlight all of the items you sold him and just put them into the trash bag. The second bag is going to be our stockpiling bag, because whenever you go to the bottom menu it shows up his gold, so you can put all of his gold and any other item you may wish, such as arrows, scrolls, potions and elixirs and supply packs, into this bag. And then when you level up your character, preferably the wizard or a spellcaster that can cast Hold Person, because you will need it. So let's take Hold Person. The second spell doesn't matter for the sake of the video. Now, what I like to do is I like to equip Hold Person, and then I like to cast it on Arron so that he is incapacitated. Let's just pretend I will not be doing it, just so I make the video a lot faster. Let's pretend I managed to cast Hold Person on him and he failed to save. Then you want to immediately talk to him. This is going to pause the Hold Person timer. Then, instead of clicking I'd like to see your wares, because what end up happening is once you exit the trade menu it's going to kick you out of the dialogue. Instead click the trade menu, which is going to bypass the exiting dialogue. And then if you look here, the items that we placed into the bag the previous level are still here, so we can also now continue adding additional items on top of them. And you can keep doing this as much as you like, because you will have a lot of gold, because you want to have your rogue close to the spellcaster, because when Arron is incapacitated by Hold Person, you can infinitely pickpocket him without losing attitude. And what I like to do usually is I pickpocket around 3,000 to 5,000 gold. I won't be doing it here because that will take forever to finish the video. So then, once you pickpocket him, this is now a great way for us to get into the 3 merchant classifications. So why I like to classify merchants is some merchants are important in the later act, some are important in the current act, and then some are not important at all once you finish an act. So let's start with Arron here. Arron is a type 1 merchant. These types of merchants are the ones that you usually meet in the same act, that you will end up also killing them or knocking them out because they are not important or tied to any quests. So Arron is the type 1 merchant that we'll be killing later. I will showcase this in a bit in the second half of the video. Now, Anthiethel here is the type 2 merchant. These merchants, we're going to meet them in one act and usually kill them in a later act or knock them out. Anthiethel is important because she is the best way of getting a lot of these elixirs of heal giant strength, and this is how I usually get around 20 to 40 of them. So what I like to do, I sell her a bag, I open the bag up, go to the barter menu, put the gold, the elixirs in here, and then when you respec or level up, her stock will reset and the items in the bag will remain, of course. And this is how we can get a lot of these elixirs. So I like to put all of these random items, like some of the good crafting ingredients such as the All of Accuracy one and so on. And then exit, level the character up, and then do it all in order again. Now the third trader, the type 3 trader, is Damon. He's the prime example. These traders appear in multiple acts and they always have good items to sell, or they are important for quests. And Damon is a prime example of this, as he shows up in acts 1, 2 and 3. What I like to do with him is I sell him a trash bag and I sell him a stockpile bag. Then in the stockpile bag I like to put gold and magical arrows. For items such as the safeguard shield and so on, I usually just purchase off of him. Gold you want in here just so you can potentially sell him stuff later and then put it into the trash bag. But he will be a merchant that we will not be trying to knock out or kill at all. Potentially you can pickpocket him the stockpile bag, which I will showcase later on in the video as well, because there is an interesting mechanic with the difficulty class, as I'll have around 60,000 gold worth of value pickpocketed off of him, and he won't actually have a really high difficulty class for the pickpocket. So now, basically, once you have 3 characters set up at each of the different traders, you can then level up a character and then go to the first trader, stockpile, anti-ethel stockpile, diamond stockpile, and you can just keep repeating that until you either run out of levels or you keep respecking and until you are satisfied with the number of items you've got. We'll now go to the part 2 in this video, where I will show you the very end of the first area in Act 1 and how much I stockpiled on Arron. So I will see you there. Alright, so here we are at the part 2, basically at the very end of the first area in Act 1. As you can see, the only things I have left to do is dealing with the Githyanki patrol and going through the mountain pass or going through the Underdark. So I did a little bit of a setup here. I did cast Hold Person on Arron and have Bamboozle talking to him so that I pause the timer. And we're gonna check out the stockpile that we have on Arron now. I will go with the trade button again. So here is what I've managed to gather. Now, of course, if you visit the Grove more often, you can stockpile a lot more items, or if you respec and you are more patient than I am, you can stockpile a lot more items, like way more. But this is what I've gathered here. Bunch of scrolls, bunch of potions, bunch of arrows, some armors, food, and everything that I will need. And now we're basically the part where we get to bonk Arron to get all of this stuff from him. So let's switch back to our paladin here. Now I do have a mod that increases NPC and enemy health for the difficulty sake, so we're just gonna use our Divine Smites here to make this procedure faster. There we go. And now when we go and loot him, if you look here, we basically have everything that was inside of the bag remain in it. Now you will most likely get all of your weight from the supply packs if you have like 40, 50 and so on of them. So easy way to bypass that is just send them to camp. I will do the same with these armors so that I don't need to sort them out. And now I can just pick up the whole bag. And there you go, that's about it for the method. It is pretty simple. Now I will read out at the end of the video a bunch of the Act 1 and 2 traders and give them the classifications mentioned in the first part of the video. So if you're interested in that, there will be timestamps in the video, so you can jump over there immediately. But we'll now go to the part 3 of the video, where we're gonna showcase the difficulty class if you wish to and try pickpocket the stockpile bag. So I will see you there. Alright, so we're at the part 3. I'm basically at the last slide in. I have just leveled up to level 7. And I was about to stockpile Diamond and Quartermaster Tally, so I have a lot of stuff on them. But now let's take a look at the Diamond stockpile. We'll take control of Bob here. And we have a stack of 40,000 gold and a boatload of special arrows. I usually, basically what this method does is you will get a lot of arrows, a bunch of potions and elixirs and scrolls. It's gonna make a game relatively ridiculously easy. So what I tend to do to limit myself is the arrows that I don't use or don't plan on using, I sell them. Same thing with the scrolls. I usually just sell those. I see arrows that I don't use and scrolls I don't use just as money, basically. So it still keeps some difficulty to the game. Also helps if you have mods. But yeah, anyway, let's go to our rogue and let's try to pickpocket Diamond. So if you look here, it's only a 17, and the fact that I have 11 from dexterity and sleight of hand, and I also use the Gloves of Theory, which gives me advantage. The brawl is not that too difficult to actually hit. I won't be doing it now for the sake of the video, but yeah, if you want to try your luck at pickpocketing the stockpile bags, you can also try and do that. If you're on honor mode, you probably wouldn't want to risk aggroing Diamond, or you would just probably pay him and you will get it back from him later. But yeah. So that is it for the part 3. I will now go into the last part where I'll be reading out the merchant names and giving them classifications. So I will see you there. Alright, so here we are at the part 4 of the video. Here I will just read you out the names of the merchants and give you the classifications for them, or one of the 3 types, and maybe give you 1 or 2 comments about them. So Mattis is a type 3 trader. He's located in the Druid's Grove. He also appears in Acts 2 and 3 where he has some magical items, so you can just leave him alone. Diamond is, like mentioned in the video, a type 3 trader. He appears in all 3 acts and he has some nice stuff on him. Arron, as well mentioned in the video, he's a type 1 trader. After you're done with the first area, you can safely bonk him. Brem is a type 1 trader. He's located at the Zentarim hideout in Act 1 in the first area. You can also safely knock him out or bonk him after you are done with the Zentarim quest with the chest. Grat the trader is a goblin trader at a goblin camp. He is a type 1 merchant. You will essentially just kill him every single time you actually aggro the goblin camp, so he's a safe type 1 merchant. Roa Munglo is a merchant at the Shattered Sanctum. She is a type 2 merchant. She appears in Acts 2 and 3. She's useful in Acts 1 and 2 because she has some nice items, and in Act 3 she's tied to a quest, whether you can choose to knock her out or take her out or not. I classify her therefore as a type 2. Blurk is a type 3 merchant. I usually leave him alone because he doesn't really have anything too fancy after Act 1 in the Underdark, so he is located in the Myconid colony in the Underdark. Dareth Bonecloak is a type 3 merchant. She is located in the Underdark Myconid colony. She also appears in Act 3 if you give her, and particularly if you give her the Noble Stock, she will have some very powerful potions, elixirs, and crafting items. Volo is a type 3 merchant. He's tied to some quests and you can get his special eye, so should leave him alone. Cyril is a type 1 merchant. She's located at the Risen Road Toll House. She's one of the members of the Paladins of Tyr, so you can safely trade with her, stockpile her stuff, and then take her out. Stonemason Kith at the Grim Forge. He is a type 1 trader. He is very good for stockpiling because usually I level up when I reach the Dwegar area in the Underdark, and I then proceed to take him out and get a lot of stuff from him, so therefore type 1. Corsair Greymoon, he is a type 1 merchant. He isn't too great of a trader, so he's safe as a type 1, so you can take him out as soon as you meet him basically. He is also located at the Grim Forge in the Dwegar area. Then there's also the Omelum. He's a type 3. He is located in the Underdark Myconid colony. He's next to Blurg. I usually like to leave him alive as well because he can be useful in one of the areas in Act 3. Then for the Mountain Pass, you have Lady Esther. I usually make her a type 1 or type 3, up to you. I usually just knock her out, so you could say she is a type 1 merchant. She has some nice stuff on her. You can get also gold from her. I usually also level up when I reach her, so then I can just stockpile a little bit more. And then the tanky quartermaster, whose name I probably won't even pronounce. Her name is Jira. The first thing I have no clue what it is. She is a safe type 1 merchant. You will, regardless of what you do, pretty much always aggro the entire crash, so you will have to kill her regardless, so she is, again, a safe type 1 merchant. Now, going to the Act 2 merchants, you will first meet in the Last Light Inn. Damon, of course, he's still a type 3, nothing else changed there. Then you have the Quartermaster Tally. She is a type 1 merchant, so basically at the very end of Act 2, when you're done with the whole Moonrise Towers and so on, you can knock her out or kill her safely. If you need to get her to a secluded area, give her gifts and then use Dimension Dawn to teleport her away, and you can safely take her out. You also meet Rua Munglo in the Moonrise Towers. She is still a type 2 merchant, so we'll be leaving her alive for now. You will then meet also Araj Oblodra, the Blood merchant. She is a type 3 merchant, as she is very useful in Act 3, so I usually leave her alive. Then you will also meet the Bugbear merchant, Lan Tarv. He is a type 1 merchant. You will have to also kill him regardless in the Act 2, so a safe bet, he is a type 1 merchant in Moonrise Towers. You will also meet Sister Lidwin in the House of Healing. She's a type 1 merchant. You can just safely kill her. Nothing to worry about there. And that is it for the traders in Acts 1 and 2. That's it for the video. If you stick around to the end, I would appreciate it. I would also appreciate if you leave the like and subscribe for more Baldur's Gate 3 content. And also feel free to ask any questions you may have about the game or the video in general. I will be happy to answer them. And I will see you in the next one.